Tuesdays with TM. I've been in that ever since I graduated from the program, and that's been real challenging. So that's a steady kind of thing going on. I've taught wide angle a number of times. I'm doing the faith right now. I plan to do it in this winter when I get down into Florida. I'm in a neighborhood Bible study, 5 couples, my wife and I. I'm in a men's group, meets every Friday morning. We have about 50 guys. They're not all there every week, being mostly retirees. They're here and there and everywhere, but we usually have at least 30 guys on a given Friday. And also involved with the, as a coordinator with Yvonne and the other states and setting up today's meeting. And then I'm involved with Faith in Action, which has me doing various kinds of things. Usually I'm running around taking elderly people to medical appointments, whether it be day surgery or just going for a regular appointment. It might be to audio, hearing aid type thing. Sometimes I'm taking the person there. Sometimes I'm just taking their hearing aid that needs to be cleaned and upgraded. Those kinds of things. But I do get opportunities to speak to people when I'm doing that kind of thing. And as Tony had talked about, getting to know these people, what kinds of things they're facing. I've even gone shopping for elderly people. And this one man called me. Oh, I got called by the coordinator from Faith in Action, and he said, would I be willing to do this? I said, sure. He gave me the name of the man that needed the shopping done. I called him, and I thought he'd have me over and give me a list. He said, well, I just got a short list here. You got a pencil and paper? I had 36 items, but I needed a big sheet of paper because he told me where in the store, what shelf, what level, what brand, and so on. But when I got to that man's home, it was obvious he should not have been living by himself. And I found out later on that I had a friend who was a neighbor in that neighborhood, and he didn't have to go into assisted living. So you do see these kinds of things. You do see opportunities. I picked up a lady one day. It was the first time I picked her up, and she was going to the hairdresser. So it was in town. I just had to drop her off and come back later. And it was hard to get a conversation going. She just was into herself. So I brought her there, dropped her off, picked her up, tried again to get something going. I said, oh, your hair looks very nice. Must feel better. She said, I'm having a terrible time. So I just waited and see what she'd say. And she said, we used to live in Sun City, Arizona. And we liked it there. We had a lot of friends. We did a lot of socializing. My husband had heart trouble. And our son wanted us to come back north to be near him. And the husband had an operation. He passed away. And she said, none of the neighbors came over. And I said, well, are you involved in the activities? Because we're in this 55 and over community, 80 clubs. She said, no, I don't drive. I said, well, how about your neighbors? They must go to these things. Well, I don't know the neighbors. They're not very friendly. She didn't drive. I said, well, how do you get on? She says, well, my son comes once a week, takes him shopping. I felt so bad for her. What can I do? So I'm thinking about, talking to the Faith in Action office, and lo and behold, I get a call to go pick up another lady in the same neighborhood. This lady was just the opposite of the first one. She had been a realtor. I had no trouble having a conversation with her. She was a Christian. She was a driver herself for Faith in Action. Her arm in a sling. That's why she wasn't driving. Once I established she was a committed Christian, I said, I got a ministry for you. There's a lady in your neighborhood that really needs help. She's really hurting. So You know, so there's kinds of opportunities that come up like that. I told you about the man last night that I gave Chuck's book, Born Again, and then his family gave him the other books and so on like that. So there's all kinds of opportunity if you take the time to get to know people, as Tony was saying, learn the culture. I've used the Better Hour DVD numbers of times, and of course I've promoted the Amazing Grace film. So, you know, those are just some of the kinds of things that I've been trying to use, some of the resources that are available to us Centurions.